If you had been trying to put on a fake show for so long,
Yeah.
what finally made you comfortable on June 21st of 2021 to be very straightforward and say, oh, by the way, guys, I'm gay?
Yeah. I knew I wanted to do it for like years before that. There was a few catalysts that really were like, yo, you got to do this. Two big ones. First one was my uncle, who was my mom's youngest brother, was gay. And my mom was one of 12, Irish Catholic. And so he passed away in about 2019, end of 2019. And I was only out to like my siblings and my close friends at this point, and my parents. And when he was passing away of cancer, my mom called me and she was like, you got to go down and see Uncle Bill. So I was playing the Seahawks. I didn't tear my groin, but I like pulled my groin bad in Seattle. So I get the call, fly back to Tampa. Then I had to fly the next day up to DC to go see him. And he was doing better like the year before, but I saw him on his deathbed and he was in a really bad shape. And I came out to him. We were from a huge family. I have 44 first cousins, and he was the only gay guy gay person in the entire family. When I came out to him, he and his husband were there, and he was like, this is the biggest weight off of my chest. He's like, I'm not the only one. And like those words, I'm like, man, there's probably so many people out there that are gonna feel that same way. And so I felt really charged after that. And I do feel, I'm not regret, but I was like, oh, if I could, in a perfect world, I could have come out earlier and like kind of been his backup. You know what I mean? Kind of could have been there for him a lot more than I was. And that really spurred like, hey, I gotta do this, And then 5 months later, I signed a great contract with the Raiders, had a bunch of guaranteed money, and I felt like, damn, like now they can't touch me, right? Yeah. So there was I was like, this isn't even like something I want to do, this is something I need to do. You know what I mean? I have been gifted so many rights, so many freedoms that the previous generation in my community did not have. It's like, I can't just sit on these and rake it in, especially when I have the guaranteed money, especially when I have a really hard touch point of what it was like, you know what I mean, for the generation before me through my uncle. And then COVID hit. And then, right before that, I think George Floyd got killed. Mm-hmm. And so there was a lot of turmoil with the NFL, with social justice, with COVID. There's a lot going on. Mm-hmm. So I actually read the room in 2020. I was like, this isn't the time, Carl. Like, you do not need to add anything to this. So then I waited until 2021. I knew I wanted to take a lot of that attention and bring it to the Trevor Project. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Trevor Project.
You donated like $100,000 right away. Yeah.
And then the NFL matched it. I'm now on the board of the Trevor Project, which is great. They're an amazing organization, but I knew it would get a lot of attention, so I wanted to make sure that attention got put to a good place.
That's awesome, man.
Hold up, limitless. Niggas to me, pinning it. I fought the head to witness it.